Hi, everybody. Today I want to talk about boundaries. Um, Boy, it's something we're not all good at, isn't it? Boundaries in our life, boundaries in our relationships, boundaries especially with our jobs, right? Um, I think of the world that I used to live in, which is when I left school, I left everything. There was no social media or cell phone that I had in my purse or pocket. I left everything. The school day, I mean, aside from all the papers I took home to grade, but any of the communications with other people, they were done. There was no such thing as a phone call happening from work at 10 o'clock at night or an email that I got on a Sunday afternoon that now just really kind of set the tone for the rest of the Sunday. That just didn't exist. And I think that in the world that we have now, we have no opportunity to ever shut off ever. It's funny how as I started my own company, I remember vacations back when I was a teacher and a principal. As a teacher, vacations were truly vacations because school was closed down. So when I went away at Christmas break or spring break or fall break, school wasn't in session. So there wasn't anything for me to do aside from the preparations that I did at home. And then I became a principal, an assistant principal, and then a principal. And I remember thinking, doesn't matter if I'm still at school, this phone is ringing more. We had a situation with a football team, or we had something happen with the band, or I will never forget being gone on a Christmas break once, and the band was going to go to some kind of concert or performance that they had, and then they got stuck with some snow. And I had to make the decision, how are we going to get them home? And I remember thinking at the time, I'm on winter break too. There was no boundary. Hi, everybody. Kathy Tooley, CEO with Tools for Success. And I want to start to think about how we really draw boundaries. I think boundaries are necessary in order to have any relationship healthy. Any relationship healthy. How are you drawing boundaries around your life, your relationships, your family, and separating that from your work? As an entrepreneur, there is no such thing as off. There's no such thing as I don't work. So I've had to learn how to create boundaries where I have a certain time of an evening. Usually for me, it's around 6 o'clock when I put my phone down. You can send me an email if you want, but I likely will not respond. Because I have to teach people that regardless of when you send that email, I have times that I work and times that being with my husband and times of being with my family or times that we're just going out to dinner. So phones, I think, make it very difficult, but I don't think it's the phone. I think everybody likes to blame the phone, but it's really about what you do with the phone and how you create those boundaries in your life. I have such respect for people that I know that do a really, really, really good job in setting boundaries, in saying things like, I'll text them of an evening, even if it's my girlfriends, when are we getting together for dinner? And they don't respond. And I'll think, I'm just asking, what time we're meeting for dinner. And when they'll say to me the next day, sorry, I didn't respond with you, it was after hours and I was doing insert activity. I respect that. I'm never irritated by it, even though I thought my text was really important. So I want you to start thinking about where and how are you setting boundaries? Because if you don't, we were not programmed to be forever on. We were not programmed to constantly be working. That's not how we were made. We have to rest and we get to work. So I want to have you start thinking about how you're creating boundaries. And here's what I'd love to hear. Boundaries are still something that I have to work on every single day. Some days I get it really good. And some days I get caught up in a firestorm of an argument or a text strand or an email strand. And before I know it, it's 9 o'clock. And then I'm mad that I didn't set a clearer boundary to say a discussion I'm not going to have today. So I would love to know how you're setting boundaries. Are you setting boundaries? Did this video start to give you a little bit of thoughts of I don't set any? Because here's what I do know. Not setting boundaries is unhealthy. There are so many studies out there now. We could do a whole separate video on cell phones. And as a matter of fact, I will. On cell phones and communication. But this is more than cell phones. This is also phone calls. This is people coming to your door. This is people asking you to do things outside of the hours that you were instructed to do it. Sitting up and working all hours of the night to complete a project. Boundaries. How are you setting boundaries? Can't wait to hear how you're setting your own boundaries, and hope that this video has helped you spur some ideas on how you might want to do that. Don't forget to like and share and follow and all the things that you should do, and most importantly, comment. Have a fantastic day.